Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So my name is Nurse Nyamouch and I am an overseas new graduate from Canada working and living in the UK. Woo! Guys, today is a juicy video. We are talking all about pay, all the moolah, how rich you can become as a nurse in the UK. Nah, actually, no. Nah, it's not. But we are talking about the UK nursing pay band that nurses can be placed upon. Before we get started though, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you like some of these videos from me. So basically the nursing pay bands, the NHS had kind of introduced this pay band back in 2004, or this pay scale. And so they introduced it in 2004 as a way to kind of support and match, people's skills and responsibilities to their pay and their job roles and stuff like that. And then from there, they also wanted to kind of encourage equal pay in the workplace, as well as allow people to have a stepping ground to be able to kind of move up the ladder or the pay ladder or pay scale and stuff like that. So essentially that's what it's kind of that's how it all started. As you guys know, when I first got here to the UK, before I even started working as a band 5 nurse, I was a band 4. Sorry, there's something on my face. So I was a band 4 for a year before I got my PIN. And working as band 4 here was I worked as what they called an associate practitioner. So it was basically an in-between job role between like a healthcare aide, which is what they call HCAs here, or CSWs, depending on what trust you work for. And so it's between that and a registered nurse, which was quite a big gap. As a band 4, I kind of hated the job because you never really knew what you were doing. And it was just kind of like, you got to work and they're like, oh, we're short staffed on nurses today, so you're gonna play a nurse, essentially. Or they'll just be like, oh, we're short staffed on CSWs today, so you're gonna play being a CSW, a healthcare aide, or whatever it is. So it's just like, it was terrible because you just like didn't have a place and you just didn't have a job. So anyways, that's a band 4. Another band 4 job role though is also an associate a nursing associate. That's the other band 4 position. And a nursing associate actually requires you to be registered with the NMC. So for those of you guys in Canada, and I think maybe the United States, it would be something like an RPN, LPN kind of situation. That's from what I understood, especially because the nursing associates were actually able to do quite a lot, and they worked as nurses essentially here. So they were able to do a lot. They had limitations though as to certain things that they could do, but they were registered with the NMC and they worked as nurses. So that's the equivalent that I could kind of make out. I'm not sure what LPNs or RPNs are in other countries, so leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys have this kind of this type of nursing, and if not, if so, what do you guys call it? Actually, let me know that. So those are the 2 different band 4. Starting wage for a band 4 was £21,000. That's annually. So I think from number wise, like hourly pay wise, why don't I want to say that was like £11?
Oh my God!
£11.19 or something like that. I'm just thinking of my last paychecks that I used to get as a band 4. I think it was something like that. Yeah. Welcome to the UK. So a band 5, if you are a band 5, that would be your typical nurse, a staff nurse, registered nurse. So here they call them staff nurses. So just be a registered nurse. Be your newly qualified or your international nurses and such. Or just like anybody, even like after a couple years, you can have people band 5s forever, So, but if you are an international nurse and you come to the UK and you do get your PIN, you will start as a band 5. So with the band 5 job role, you get that starting pay of $25,655. I'll put the numbers down here. So you get that starting pay if you have less than 2 years experience, essentially. And then after 2 to 4 years experience, you kind of jump up into the 27,780 pounds per year. And then with 4 years of experience or more, you're making 31,543 pounds per year annually. Okay, so those would be your band 5s. That's that. Band 6s would typically be your senior sisters, so they would be your nurses in charge, your specialist nurses, and such. And if you are a special nurse, sometimes you might require some additional trainings to become a band 6. So the band 6 payroll starts off at 31,365 pounds per year. So it just kind of picks up where the last end of band 5s pick up. And then again, you probably have the number of years that experience that you've got to have in that. So it's probably up to 4 years and stuff like that, and you reach the max. And now we are moving on to your band 7s. So band 7s, these are your more advanced nurses or your nurse practitioners. That's what they call it here. And typically, to be a band 7, you kind of require some kind of master's degree or some kind of equivalency to it. And then typically these band 7s can prescribe and they can diagnose patients as well. So in critical care where I am right now, we have a lot of these band 7s, and they are what we call our art team. And so they go around and they, there are specialist nurses, and they will go and see patients on the wards before they get critically sick, and they would then refer them on to whichever critical care bed they need, whether ICU or HDU. And so they're able to prescribe medication and stuff like that beforehand. And so their job and their pay starts off at 38,890 pounds per year. And then over here, then the next one that you've got would be your band 8s. So your band 8s are going to be your modern day matrons and your nurses. So your chief nurses and stuff like that. So they're the ones that are typically in a unit, or they take care of the whole unit as a whole, and they are the nurses in charge there. And they are the bosses of the ward. They're like the big bosses that make some higher up decisions on things. And so they typically start at 45,753 pounds per year. Band 8 though is divided into 8A, B, C, and D. So I'm not too sure what you need to become one of those two, but basically as a band 8 for a whole, you start at 45,753 pounds, and that's 8A, and all the way down to 8D, that's where you'd be making your 75,941 pounds per year. So those are your band 8s. And last one would be your band 9s, which would be just like the highest level, and it'd be your consultant level nurses and stuff like that. I actually don't think I've met a band 9. I'm not too sure. I'd have to check, and I would have to see what it would be. So I might give you guys an updated video on that. But apparently, essentially, they get paid 91,000 pounds per year, and that's their starting salary. So this pay band system is the pay band system that they use here in the UK. The pay is slightly on the little bit of a rubbish side of things, just because like life and of living here and stuff like that is really expensive in the UK, and so the pay sometimes just doesn't meet that, especially where you live as an international nurse and stuff like that. So sometimes your rent and all that stuff is like 700 pounds, right? So, and you're only getting what, like if you take home between 14 to 18 100 pounds, like that doesn't leave you too much. So life of living, like the experience here and the pay is a little bit on the rubbish side. I can tell you from my experience here now, starting as a brand new band 5 with less than 2 years experience, the hour wage would be £13 an hour. Yeah, let that sink in. But anyways, we all still want to come to the UK, and we all still want to have this life, so what can you do, right? So yeah, no, there are definitely, and this is obviously the NHS Pay Band, and this is how the NHS as a whole pays, but there are other ways to be making more money as a nurse here in the UK, and we can explore those options in another video, but it's not the beyond at all. And so yeah, that's just that. Guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.